think it says 39, right?
Dude, I don't fucking know.
All right, let's continue. I think we're only 10 minutes into this episode, but I could be wrong.
Welcome back to Digi Bros.
I remember hearing that you two don't like isometric games during one of these episodes. If this is true, why?
It's tedious.
I hate the camera perspective. I just think it looks like
annoying.
shit.
And then, like, if you're playing it on a pad, it gets confusing which way is up and down.
The worst is like isometric tactics games on like the GBA and stuff.
Final Fantasy Tactics Advances specifically.
Yeah. There's a lot of them
where you can't tell what's up and down, and it just gets it's just.
And then like when it's a game like Diablo,
why can't it be simple?
It just looks ugly. I just don't like. It's just the worst perspective to show something from. It looks like shit. All you see is floor.
Yeah.
I don't want to just look at the floor.
It hides what's ahead of you in an annoying way.
It's kind of like I kind of get claustrophobic when I play them sometimes.
Yeah.
Even though in real life I don't get claustrophobic.
Piece of crap. They're
I actually like being in small places.
Games.
But like, yeah.
Haven't been here yet.
What were your thoughts on Studio Manglobe shutting down? It sucks.
Yeah.
But it was really interesting for me, and I might do a video on it eventually, because Manglobe is the only studio that I ever like actively followed, like in terms of everything they did interested me. Like, because they started off doing like such out there productions that were like really unique and original, and then the way they had to like completely sell out, but it didn't work. Like, they sold out, but then a lot of the shows they didn't really sell anyways, and then like it seemed like Hayate was the only thing that like really like brought them back. And
Fiate.
And then they did some good stuff like The World God Only Knows, and it was just like such a weird fucking career to watch unfold. And then for them to like get back into doing original stuff with Samurai Flamenco, and then to like to clearly try to like recapture some of the old spirit, even though it's an adaptation with Gangsta, and then just like just implode, you know.
Yeah.
They were working on a movie that they were like close to finish. That was supposed to come out like in November, and then they just had to completely halt production because they shut down. And a bunch of people who were working for the studio like were saying they didn't get paid and shit, like for some of their work on Gangsta and stuff. So like that island. It's a fucking catastrophe, but it was fascinating, and I would love to do another video on them, but I want to like watch all the rest of their stuff first, like all the stuff I missed, and make it a little more comprehensive. Because now that they're dead, I can like really dissect the whole corpse, you know.
I feel like I've explored fucking everywhere at this point, but I've not gotten
the map
enough fucking
makes it
fish.
very clear you haven't.
Well, because I haven't talked to the fish at every single square, which I really should have just done.
That's what I thought you were doing at the beginning.
It was kinda, and then like I got sick of that, and then I just started doing other shit, and then like now I need to do that again.
This guy says, I should have asked this a few episodes ago, and while I would also like a PS4, why would you buy one to play the definitive edition of Tomb Raider when that is already on PC? How strong is your PC? Definitive edition's not on PC. It's only on Xbox One and PS4. I found that out because I wanted to buy it on PC, but I couldn't. Now, definitive edition, if what you're saying is that it can't do anything that the PC couldn't already do, then like graphically I believe you're correct, but my PC wouldn't be able to handle the hair engine, not that I care. It probably could have run the normal game, but I'm pretty sure they also added in some other shit to it and tightened it up, because I read a bunch of reviews that were like, this is the better version of the game, and I was like, okay. But I didn't really buy it just for that game. It was just that like my desire to play that game was what inspired, like made me start thinking about the idea that I could just buy a PS4. And then it was like a combination of I wanted to play Tomb Raider and I wanted to play the Uncharted trilogy again, because those were released on the PS4. And then like I saw a few other games that looked interesting. I knew I wanted to, you know, Victor wanted to play Bloodborne for Digi Bros. I knew I wanted to have it for that. And it just seemed like there were like enough games that I was like, okay, why not? It's $300. I have $300 lying around. I'll do it. And so I did.
Sweet.
I don't regret it because I've played a lot of games on it already. The last question from this guy, have either of you ever taken an orgasmic shit?
Define orgasmic.
Like it orgasmic.
It was so good. just like
Yes.
a real nice shit. I guess, you know,
like the release was
sometimes
like
taking a
incredible.
shit's good. I don't have a specific story.
I have taken shits that were borderline sexual.
Sexual shitting.
Well, you know, I can't decide if I want to do this as a this is a joke, but I feel like it's gonna
God.
be too real. Because you know, for guys, you know,
Are you talking? Is the turd rubbing your prostate on the way out and making you fucking jizz in your pants?
I've
Well,
felt
pants,
taking
but
a shit and
clothes.
had the shit like rub your prostate and it feels kind of good. You never had that before?
I don't know.
It's never made me literally
Taking a shit's,
orgasm.
you know, it's satisfying.
But
I don't know if it's,
I've had some shits
quite
where I was
climactic.
like, this feels like probably what getting fucked in the ass is like. Pretty good.
Very clean, but not very sanitary.
Oh, man.
Oh. Hey,
Oh.
there we go.
Here's a question that kind of riffs on the one we asked a minute ago from Lego the Alpaca Eccentric. Digi, what are your best
Lego
ways
my
of
ego.
dealing with procrastination? Just doing it seems like the best answer, but I'm having trouble working on my projects anyway.
do it.
I think the best way to deal with procrastination is if you don't want to do something else. Like I was saying before, where like if you get hung up on something that you know you should do but you don't want to do, then you're just going to spend all day thinking about it. And like again, I still have these moments where like I haven't made a video in a few days and I feel like I'm getting closer to the end of the month and I feel like I need to do one, but like I really don't like have any desire, or like the project ideas I have aren't really coming together or anything like that. And it's like, oh man, I really got to work this out. No, for me, nothing ever comes from trying to force it. Like all of my writing, all of my work is very natural, and it's sort of like once I'm inspired, I fucking work through it. If I'm not inspired and I don't want to do it, it's better for me to just go do anything else. There's no sound coming out of the game again. I don't know. It's very strange. Apologies to everyone who was listening. The sound was on when we started the game. Remember? We had the menu music on. Maybe it turned off once I put on the game capture. Wait, it's coming out of that.
Coming out of the pad. Fuck, man.
Yeah, I have no idea. So yeah, like do the other thing that you want to do. Like if you're not getting anywhere, go do something else that is more interesting to you, and then come back to it.
Go to
when
Wawa and get
you're
a drink.
inspired. That too. Is that your number one method for dealing with procrastination? Do you have an input?
It's like think about with like how athletes to perform certain actions. You learn this in baby steps, but like a tennis player might have a certain formula to do a perfect serve, where it's like they tap their feet 2 times.
Yeah.
It's the kind of thing that to get them psyched up to do what they're about to do. That is my formula for writing and things. Is I drive to Wawa and I get a drink and then I'm ready to write, because it's like you have that repetition that gets you in a certain mindset, and it's a very conscious effort. So it's like, yeah, I put on like the same fucking Toe album every single time. And
you always
I do
listen
the same
to,
thing, yes.
For a Long Tomorrow?
Doing that formula will get you in the mood. I clean my desk, I go to Wawa and get a drink, I come home and then I write this shitty paper.
If you've never heard the album For Long Tomorrow by Toe, is that the name of the album, or is that just the name of a song on it?
I think it's the name of the album.
Yeah, go check it out. Great math rock instrumental
Great
album.
homework music.
Yeah. It's funny. I had never been very into, like, I knew about that band for years, mostly through like YouTube videos, and then I had that album on my computer for a while, and I never got that into it until when me and my girlfriend broke up early last year.
Hey.
And it was because I was like really emotional, and any emotion in music was not working with me. Like, I didn't want to hear any happy music. I didn't want to hear any sad music.
Fuck my ass.
And Toe to me is like perfectly emotionless. Like, it was just listening to like technical, you know, like riffs, and just like it's very like, not to say that it's cold. It's like it's definitely, human, and like it's like a celebration of great sounds, but like I just didn't want any emotions, and it was perfect for that. And then I've been really into it ever since. But
yeah. What a great story.
I guess I'll turn back to my pad here for more questions, since
we're in endless.
Just
Q&A.
read a lot off of the computer there. All right, here's one from Devu that I've been skipping out on all this time, about adapting your craft as technology evolves.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've said a few times that I have a hard time imagining that like YouTube is always going to be YouTube.
Yeah.
Because the example I always give is Oculus Rift. Like, I feel like once that comes out, once virtual reality becomes like commonplace, we're going to have that become a big medium where like people are going to make stuff for virtual reality.
If they start making stuff that's really compelling, then
right. And well, even stuff that's not compelling. Like, I feel like okay, if virtual reality exists and everyone has it, then instead of watching a YouTube video, you could put on the glasses and I could be sitting in a room talking to you.
Yeah.
You know, and you could be like there with me while I explain something to you. And I think that's going to happen. Like, I don't know if that's going to become so big that it like that normal, you know, YouTube videos don't happen, but like that's where I see my career going and where I see like the technology going, because like text blogging is basically dead. You know, like, especially for pop media. Like, there's still plenty of people who do it, and there's still plenty of people who read it enough that, like, a guy like Bob Do, or whatever, however you pronounce his name, at BOBDUH on Twitter, who's an anime blogger who does text blogging, and he makes, like, $400 a month on Patreon, which, like, shocked me when I found that out, because I hadn't seen anyone, like, text blogging successful on Patreon. But, like, you know, even he, like, we were talking about video the other day, and, like, he heard how much I make and was like, shit, I need to get into video. Like, you know, he was like, I'm trying to do this as a career, and video is the current, it's the future. Like, I can't keep doing text blogging because it's just not taken seriously anymore as, like, as the format for this stuff, you know? Yeah, and my mentor, Ghost Lightning, was like the one who started the conversation, because he thinks video is like completely the only way to go for this.
Yeah.
Like he always talks about how he thinks what I'm doing is incredible, because he's like, video is how this should have always been done. Like, because it's a visual medium, you know, talking about anime. But like, imagine if you could have, let's say you put on goggles and I am literally sitting next to a TV and like hitting like start
shit, man.
hitting like start on the TV and stopping and like talking to the camera, you know, and like and you would be in the room with, so it'd be like I'm teaching a class on animation.
Online lectures would be totally different. That'd be incredible.
Online lectures will all be fucking going this way, dude. It's gonna be immediate.
Definitely.
Teaching is gonna be hugely influenced by this.
Oh my god, like study abroad kind of, or what am I thinking of? Where
putting
it's like,
you in different locations and shit.
Yeah.
Shade just got
distance learning is what it is.
Shade got Google Cardboard,
yeah,
which is like where you just put your phone in a thing and attach it to your face.
Which quickly makes you realize, like, the irony of it is that it's like, oh, you can just put a cardboard box in front of your face and it's the same thing as an Oculus Rift.
It's not the same thing as an Oculus Rift, though.
But it's like, yeah, but when you buy something like that, you get it. It has padding and straps to your head real nice.
But it's not the fucking same thing as Oculus Rift. It does not do the same thing. But he had, like, one of the programs on there is that it's...
Because it just leaves humongous lines in your face from wearing it because it's so uncomfortable.
One of the programs on there is literally Google Street View, but in 3D. Like, nice. it like, put, like, when you turn it on, you're in front of the Eiffel Tower. And I'm like, oh, I am looking at the Eiffel Tower, you know, like, in an augmented reality type thing. I think classrooms are going to turn into that. You know what it's going to be? Is going to be the first... This is what the first big learning thing is going to be with Oculus Rift. Is going to be Minecraft. Do you know about Minecraft teaching?
No.
Minecraft is a huge teaching tool these days. Like, teachers do all kinds of shit in Minecraft. There are college classes on how to teach in Minecraft.
Jesus
like
Christ.
it's a huge deal because it's just such an easy medium to like communicate with students different things, and like you can build stuff in it to show them, or you can have them build things so they can understand stuff. And Minecraft, I believe, is already confirmed for, or no, they pulled it from Oculus because of it being bought out by Facebook. But it'll be on virtual reality because it's a first person game. Putting kids in a first person thing to play Minecraft to learn is gonna be fucking immediate. What could imaginably be more engrossing? You know, if you wanted someone to learn something, you put them in a fucking 3D Minecraft world, they're gonna be like, holy shit.
Yeah, it certainly helps. 5 + 5 just became incredible.
Yeah. So I am, I've always said that like my fear as a YouTuber is that if the tide changes quickly and, I or anyone else am not able to to keep up, then it'll be a problem. Like if if the next technology that everyone starts jumping to is too expensive or something, then it'll be difficult. But I think it'll never be as big, like we live in a world now where people consume cheap content. People consume stuff that's made by people on the cheap, like me. People like me who just spend a couple $100s on equipment and I can make a YouTube video, you know? So the next big shift is going to be the next thing that people can do cheaply. If the virtual reality thing can't be done cheaply, it won't be the next success, but I think it can. Yeah. I think all you really need is a 3D camera, and you can fucking, at least try. Or to film a whole room or whatever. I don't exactly know how to... Or to film yourself in a 3D environment. Like, if I filmed myself on a green screen, but I made a 3D room for myself, or was able to download one from somewhere, then, I could have my stuff take place in a 3D environment that you could inhabit. In any case, I am ready for this future to come. Are you? How do you feel?
I don't know.
Do you think you'll ever make a virtual reality movie in the future?
I don't think it's going to work for film. I think film might stay the same.
Do you think...
I think there'll be some gimmicky films that try to incorporate it.
Do you not think that the Sword Art Online film would be ideal for this? Because the game literally takes place in
Obviously, the Sword Art Online film is going to be a virtual reality spectacle where I make groundbreaking, achievements in the virtual field. That's obvious. I'm just saying, for film as a respective form of art.
I just love how I put the idea into your head just now, and you went, obviously. Like you knew all
There's no
along.
other perfect way for Sword Art Online to be presented, That's how it has to be done. That's besides the point, bro.
Oh my god.
We're talking about the SAO movie here.
Next time on Digi Bros.
Yay.
I let that one run a little long.